Yes, gun control, and some of my opinions on a recent debate here. I know there's been a lot of videos and that, but I see a lot where it says President Obama, the people have spoken, they want gun control and all this other stuff. Well, the thing about gun control is this goes back way into the early 70s. A lot of the politicians wanted to eventually ban all private ownership of firearms in this country. This has been an ongoing thing. The reason for this, I believe, the underlying reason is nobody really cares about anybody's safety or who gets killed or not. From a political point of view, banning all private gun ownership, which many countries have done that, England, Australia, Brazil, and all of these countries do this, and it kind of falls in line with kind of like a globalization type of thing. And the United States is the last place that kind of stands in the way with the Constitution and that, and the Bill of Rights, from achieving this goal. And there are a lot of politicians that really want to ban all private ownership of firearms. And you got to look at it from that point of view. It gives them ultimate control over the people. Now, getting back to the issue, you will find on the news, they're using public safety and this and that. This country's tried to ban and outlaw different things. At one time, alcohol was considered very bad for the public. And they had something called prohibition, which after so many years of this, the violence, the crime, the killing, the safety and welfare of the people were reduced because people were making, they call it bathtub gin, cheap booze, and people were getting poisoned and stuff. So, and they realized they couldn't enforce it, no matter what they did or how hard they tried. So they actually repealed it. I can understand where many people, and again, this is a country where everyone has their own opinion and their right to speak. There are a lot of people that do not think people should own assault weapons or high-capacity magazines or guns at all. Okay, it kind of goes to an extreme. And then you have the extremists that, they have guns, and instead of just leaving well enough alone, they have to flaunt the guns, come out with them, get everyone all riled up, and get vocal. So you have two very extreme ends of the whole debate. Realistically, gun control laws do not work. All these cities like Chicago and Washington, D.C., where they have some of the strictest gun laws, are actually, I think in Chicago no one's allowed to own a handgun in the city limits. Crime is still rampant. Nothing has been done to solve this. New York City's another place where crime is pretty tough, because whenever you have a large amount of people living in a small space or very heavily populated area, you're going to have problems, no matter what. Guns are very convenient, very easy to use tools if you are intent on violent activity. I mean, they're number one on the list. There are people in the past who've used other things, baseball bats, chainsaws, hammers, whatever. Screwdrivers have been used as weapons. So basically, it's not so much the availability of guns, it's the intent of people in our society, which is the problem. And that's a very complex and difficult problem to address, and there is no real solution. You can't control people's thoughts to a degree where you can eliminate people committing acts of violence. Okay? And it's basically how it goes. And as for when the president says the people speak, yes, there are a large group of people who are vocal and who are fortunate enough to have the time in that to go and march and that. And the average working person, I don't have time to have a letter writing campaign, or I haven't had time to even make a little video like this to just voice my opinion where someone can see it. you know, I mean, it's great. I'm glad them people got the spare time and are well off enough. They ain't got to worry about going to work every day or paying their bills. That they can take time off to go on protest march and everything else, you know. But from what I see, and when he says the people speak, is he talking about one group of people, or is he talking about America as a whole? Because from what I see, all the local gun shows, and I've talked to people from all over the country, there's a lot of people buying weapons. You can't buy ammunition. It's all sold out in just about any retail store. I mean, if the people have spoken, why are they buying up every assault rifle and last round of ammunition you can get your hands on? You know, that's where it's kind of, I don't agree with that. The people haven't spoken, and people are unhappy. So, if they're going to actually do a ban, which I doubt they are, it looks like all this is stalled in Congress. There are a lot of other problems that this country faces economically. I even feel it at work. Things have slowed down, and you know, a lot of it's with their changing the tax structure and that. Companies are not secure in their future, and things are getting a little out of control. And that also kind of feeds this social unrest and violence. Okay, when money gets tight and things are tough, you will see a spike in criminal activity, violent behavior, people just frustrated, you know, and that's the source of the problem. It isn't so much the availability of guns or the type of guns they're using. You know, there was a recent mass shooting, which I'll do a video on that, in upstate New York towards my old hometown, where the guy just used a basic pump shotgun and killed 4 or 5 people. There was no assault rifle, there was nothing banned, it was legal to own, and you know, oh yeah, he bought it legally. You know, I don't know if it makes him feel better the guy stole it, you know, and then used it to commit a crime. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't really believe the media is getting the truth out. And from what I see, there's a large number of people who don't agree with the gun bans and that. And I believe it also is true because politicians don't want to lose their jobs. Okay? And that's why you're not going to see a gun ban or a gun bill passed, maybe some background checks, but even that, they keep stalling it. They're pushing like crazy. Chuck Schumer and Mayor Bloomberg from New York City, he admits he's spending millions of dollars to get politicians placed and everything to sway votes and that. Well, where's that the voice of the people? It sounds like you're buying votes, you're paying people to do things. And is that what our elected officials are supposed to do? They're supposed to do what the major consensus of the people they represent from their districts and in states, congressional districts or state senators, you know, what's good for the majority of the people. You know, at least that's what I was taught in grade school about our system of government. They didn't mention that, you know, if you chunk out $3 million, you get a senator or a congressman that's going to vote your way no matter what. You know, and that's kind of like what I'm seeing in all this nonsense. Well, that's my opinion on it. It just kind of pisses me off, you know. I gotta bust my ass to work for a living. I ain't got time to go calling up my congressman and senator or, you know, hanging out and protesting, you know, against Wall Street for better wages and that. But I guess it kind of looks like that it's not going to go the way that they want, which is a good thing in a way. So that's just my take on it. I just wanted to say something about it.